I literally can't. I don't have muscle control. I'm not. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh.
What happens when a woman accuses you of beating her and kicking down her door?
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out. Tried to get the keys from my hand of my truck.
But the only problem is that you can't use your legs and have been in a wheelchair for 25 years.
You said I kicked in the door.
And why is that a problem?
Because I'm in a wheelchair and have been for 25 years.
This is what happened to Charles Reed. On June 15, 2024, a woman named Katherine Jensen called the Georgia Park Police to her home with a complaint.
Oh, thank God.
Hi, how you doing?
After Katherine Jensen says her ex-boyfriend attacked her minutes before they arrived.
So, what happened?
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out. Tried to get the keys from my hand of my truck.
So he grabbed you by your neck?
Mm-hmm. Handle him myself. I'm too small.
You say he kicked the door in?
He did. I guess he took off on foot.
As you see, she states that Mr. Reed kicked in the door, choked her out, and then ran away from the scene of the crime. All things that someone can normally do, except when they are a paraplegic. After receiving this complaint, police follow up with Mr. Reed to speak to him.
This is a complete total surprise to me. I literally have been in communication with this gentleman for a month trying to figure out why in the world I have a warrant. I feel like I was tricked into coming here today.
Trick doesn't come.
Yeah, because he told me I could just come and sign some piece of paper because he didn't have any knowledge about what the warrant was. I have the email that I could show you.
Did you recently get put in a wheelchair or what?
25 years ago.
25 years ago.
I think that's very disingenuous. I want to stop here to say that anytime the police ask you to come in to speak, even if they say that they just have some questions, you aren't being charged, you aren't in trouble, and you haven't done anything wrong, still bring an attorney with you. You can unknowingly be a suspect or just be a person of interest, and then they can make you a suspect and arrest you while you are speaking to them. Now, what you thought was a quick visit becomes an extended stay. And this is precisely what happens to Mr. Reed. While there, the first thing the officer does is read him his Miranda rights.
Recently?
Yeah, all right.
Doing well. Give me a second. I'm gonna just read you something and then I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, all right?
Great.
So, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to speak to an attorney and to have an attorney present during any questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you at government expense. Knowing and understanding your rights as I have explained them to you, are you willing to answer any questions without an attorney present?
Yes.
All right.
Denoting that Mr. Reed is not just there to clear up something, but he's actually suspected of committing a crime. For an officer to arrest you, they need what is called probable cause. Probable cause exists when a reasonable person would believe, based on specific facts and circumstances, that a crime has been, is being, or is about to be committed. When arresting someone, you also need a reasonable belief that the person you are arresting is the one that potentially committed the crime. Without both, the arrest is illegal. To give the cops in this situation the benefit of the doubt, when they heard the allegations from Ms. Jensen, they didn't have any reason to think that she was lying. And many times, especially in domestic violence cases, all it takes is the word of one person and arrest can legally be made. But if anything seems off, police shouldn't just arrest without doing some further investigating. In this case, the first thing they should have done was look into the alleged victim. If they did the basic thing, they would have seen that Ms. Jensen is actually not trustworthy and has actually lied and made a false report before.
Here, before Katherine claimed Charles assaulted her, the Newnan Police Department, about 30 miles away, arrested her for theft and forgery after allegedly filing a false police report claiming someone stole from her.
But they couldn't be bothered to even do just that. So now they seek the man that she says hurt her. Now, even without doing any investigating, alarm bells should be going off, because the big thing Ms. Jensen said the perpetrator did was kick down her door, choke her, and run away. And when a man in a wheelchair approaches, none of those things fit for what he could do. So clearly here, the officer that approaches Mr. Reed should be thinking, I might not have probable cause actually, because it's not clear that this is the person that committed the crime that supposedly occurred. But unfortunately, this officer doesn't even want to do that. He just wants to arrest someone and kind of move on with his day. And so he begins to arrest Mr. Reed.
According to Ms. Jensen, on this date, you forcefully entered her home and attacked her. So,
Yeah, that's,
and you say you have no recollection of who she is?
I have absolutely no idea who that is. Yeah. Certainly haven't forced my way into anybody's house.
Because she was able to provide us with your exact information and a description of how you look.
I truly have no idea who that is. Like,
Okay.
said I forced my way into their house?
Yes, sir.
Like, what does that mean? Like,
I can't recall. She says you forcefully entered her home. So, I don't know whether you kicked it down, stormed it through, whatever way, as long as you weren't invited, you were forcefully entering into the home, into the residence.
He explains to him what was allegedly said, and that he was the person identified by Ms. Jensen, which he actually correctly was identified. They had dated prior about like 20 years before and never spoke again.
Do you know a Katherine Elizabeth Jensen who once resided at 4111 Fredericksburg Drive?
no, never heard that.
You don't recall who she is?
I had an ex-girlfriend named Katherine Elizabeth Lane from like 20 years ago. But that's the only, you said Katherine Elizabeth Jensen?
Jensen, yes, sir.
No, never heard that name before.
Okay.
So she knew who he was and gave an accurate description, but clearly there was no way that he was the one that did this crime that she alleges occurred here. But the officer doesn't care. He just wants to arrest. He begins to handcuff, as you see, Mr. Reed, and essentially tips him over.
Do me a favor, lift your hands up above your head, please.
I don't have muscle control.
Okay, that's fine.
It's not like,
Put on the other side.
I
on the
literally
other side.
can't. I don't have muscle control. I'm not. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Kind of thinking like nothing is going to happen. And Mr. Reed is a paraplegic. He doesn't have any control of his muscles. His legs don't work. So he just falls over, and now he's just on the ground, basically being like, what's going on? Why are you doing this to me?
Do you understand what's happening to me right now? I need a paramedic like immediately.
33 to radio, can I have a signal for my location for a white male who fell out of a wheelchair?
I told you that I don't have muscle control. Like how? You can release him. I have a lawyer.
Can you have a what?
A lawyer.
A lawyer?
A lawyer, an attorney.
Yes, you can. You can call an attorney. She can call one for you. But at this point, we're done with the questioning, so.
I'm sorry, what?
We're done with the questioning. That's what the attorney was in this for. You can have an attorney, but I have nothing else to ask you.
Can somebody please help me off the ground? I'm paralyzed. Can I get out of my wheelchair?
Yeah, let's help him out.
And finally, of course, it takes another officer to come in to intervene, to kind of question exactly what's going on and kind of make it clear that this isn't the person who committed any kind of crime involving kicking and running away.
What's the warrant for?
Ag assault.
broke into somebody's house.
From the trespass, ag assault.
How long ago?
June 19th.
Of
June 19th, 15th, 9th, one of
how
those
long you
days.
been paralyzed?
25 years.
Okay. Make a phone call to me. Hold on. Let's get him sitting up right.
Peggy's grab this arm.
It's just showing that you have a warrant, but we're gonna do our due diligence. Because if you're paralyzed Somebody must have made a mistake.
I thought I.
Okay. Hold on. Who is the original agency? We are. Who's the detective? You are.
That couldn't have been this person. Let's review something because we have something very wrong here. And that's what officers should be doing when they get new facts, they meet new people. They should be reviewing things, not just trying to truck ahead and move along with whatever theory they had in the first place. But sometimes they do that and you could end up in their crosshairs because you might fit the initial description, even if it doesn't actually make sense to even regular people viewing this like we are right here. So what do? They take it to their supervisor, as they should. And a supervisor, with more experience should be able to give some clarity to the situation and better direction. But unfortunately here, the supervisor is just as incompetent.
Don't mean to interrupt your lunch. I'm stepping in, helping out a little bit. They got a quadriplegic guy up there in
I
handcuffs.
just told him about that.
Oh, he already got the rundown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's phony wash.
Yeah, but how could he?
And I just want to put it out there. He flopped out the wheelchair. I was like, can you raise your hands? Because I'm trying to, pat him down, make sure he doesn't have anything. I don't know if the camera's going to catch it, but I got him by the tip of my fingers. And he just...
It's a ruse, man.
So-
It's an obvious attempt to not to go to jail. So
Yeah. But he is fucked up from the waist below.
That last thing. He's saying that he can prove with paper documentation that he's been in the wheelchair for that long.
okay, but you can still punch somebody in the wheelchair, right? I mean, that doesn't mean that he didn't do what he was accused of, right?
He doesn't help. He doesn't even want to get up from what he's doing to even see and really look at the situation. And he even throws out an even crazier scenario that he's faking being a paraplegic. I don't know what's more far-fetched, someone making up a crime that they were hurt, especially someone who's already done this before, or someone pretending to be a paraplegic for 25 years. So in the end, Mr. Reed is still arrested.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to take you today, sir.
Can I talk to whoever that guy was?
It's really nothing he can do, and he's the one that's telling me because you still have an active warrant, and that warrant isn't going anywhere. I've even went so far as to reach out to the district attorney and see if there's something that I could do, but they're not answering. So unfortunately, I had to take you in.
The officer's like, sorry, I don't have any power of this. They do have the power. They are the ones deciding if they can actually execute that arrest warrant. If something comes up and it's clear that something is awry and it's not going right, they don't have to just arrest someone as if their hands are tied. They can make those decisions that we're not going to arrest you. This isn't right. Something's not making sense. You're not the right person. They have all those decisions and all those options before them. But if they're deciding to arrest, then that's completely on them to stand by that decision when it's clearly wrong. And so unfortunately for Mr. Reed, now he has to wait for the prosecutors to get the case and drop it, or for it to go before a judge and the judge to clearly see that he's not the person and to dismiss the case right from there. But all of that could have been prevented if these officers just had a couple more brain cells, honestly. Now, to conclude the entire story, I think what's worst of all is that Miss Jensen, the one who lied, was never actually even charged criminally for making this false report, calling police, fabricating something that completely never existed, and wasting all these resources that they followed, even when they could have avoided that. But they never even charged her, the actual criminal in this case. And on top of that, they haven't even apologized to Mr. Reed for what they put him through, for how they pushed him around, pushed the paraplegic that has no control of his muscles off of his wheelchair as if he was faking, brought him in and accused him of committing a crime that he's never done in his life. And not a single apology was even given for putting him through this entire situation. Now, of course, Mr. Reed has the option of filing a civil case against the department. Currently, I haven't seen one from my research, but he definitely has a strong case, I believe, to file a civil case against this police department, and especially just based on these heinous facts and the unprofessionalism that we've seen. I think he could probably get a settlement very quickly just so that they avoid losing even more face from this entire mishap. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Should Miss Jensen have been charged? Should any of these police officers face any kind of repercussions for their behavior in arresting Mr. Reed when it was clearly a case where he did not fit the description of the alleged perpetrator? And lastly, should Mr. Reed file a civil case? If you're on that jury, would you award him some kind of compensation? How much would you give him? I'd definitely love to hear your thoughts on the entire situation below. I'll see you next time. Thank you.
According to this email obtained by Charles' attorney, Katherine wrote to a College Park police detective this week asking to change her statement, writing, "My mental state and physical trauma in that moment worked to confuse me. Please contact me at your convenience so I can edit the information in the report and clear the name of an innocent man." How's this impacted you?
Well, I haven't been able to leave my house in a meaningful way in 2 or 3 months, just out of fear that I'll be picked up for an arrest warrant.
Has the police department apologized?
Not a single bit. Haven't heard a word from them. In fact,